In the first part of this video, we saw some of the most painful tragedies in the history of boxing. Boxers who entered the ring full of hope, but never made it back home to their families. But the list doesn't end there. In part 2, we will discover even more stories of warriors who gave everything for their dreams. Some were world champions, while others were rising stars expected to dominate their division. But in an instant, everything changed. If you're ready, let's continue the countdown of boxers who passed away after their fight inside the boxing ring. But before we start, if you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe so you'll always be updated with videos like this. Daniel Aguillon. Daniel Aguillon was a talented boxer from Mexico, a country known for producing some of the toughest warriors in the world of boxing. He dreamed of becoming a world champion, and like many Mexican boxers before him, he was ready to give everything to reach that dream. On October 15, 2008, he stepped into the ring for a fight that he didn't know would be the last fight of his life. His opponent was Omar Chavez, the son of the Mexican boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez. This was a huge opportunity for Aguillon to showcase his talent on a bigger stage. The fight was intense. Both of them exchanged heavy punches for 12 rounds. But in the final round, Aguillon was hit by a very powerful punch that knocked him down for good. He never regained consciousness. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered that he had suffered a severe head injury. They did everything they could to save his life, but his condition continued to worsen. After 2 days, on October 17, 2008, Daniel Aguillon finally passed away. Pedro Alcazar. Pedro Alcazar was one of the most promising young stars of Panama. As the WBO superflyweight world champion, many believed that he still had a long career ahead of him and many more titles to win. But everything changed on June 22, 2002. On that day, he defended his title against the tough Mexican boxer Fernando Montiel. Their fight was very intense. As the rounds went by, Montiel gradually took control. In the 6th round, he unleashed a series of powerful punches, forcing the referee to stop the fight. Alcazar lost, and he lost his title. Despite this, it seems that he was in good condition after the fight. He even passed the post-fight medical examination and continued with his plans for that night. But the next day, while he was preparing to leave Las Vegas, he suddenly collapsed. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered that he had suffered severe brain damage caused by the punches he received during the fight. Despite all the doctors' efforts, they were unable to save him. Pedro Alcazar passed away at the young age of 24. The boxing world was deeply shocked by his death because it did not happen immediately after the fight, unlike most tragedies that occur inside the ring. Choi was an excellent boxer from South Korea who became known for his exceptional speed, endurance, and tireless fighting spirit. He was a former WBC light flyweight world champion, and even as he got older, he continued to compete in fights, proving that he could still keep up with younger boxers. On December 25, 2007, he faced Heriberto Ruiz in a fight that he didn't know would be the last fight of his life. It was an intense battle, but in the end, Choi was declared the winner. He once again showed why he is one of the most respected names in boxing. But just a few seconds after the referee raised his hand as a sign of his victory, he suddenly lost consciousness and collapsed inside the ring. The audience was shocked while the medical team immediately rushed to help him. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered that he had suffered a severe brain injury due to the intense fight. Choi was brought to the hospital and immediately underwent intensive treatment. But despite all the doctors' efforts, he could not overcome the severe brain injury he sustained. He remained in a coma for several days. On January 2, 2008, he passed away. The entire boxing world deeply mourned his death. It was even more painful because he was the one who actually won the fight. He gave all his strength to achieve victory, but in exchange, it cost him his own life. Because of this tragedy, the issue of the safety of boxers in South Korea was brought up again. Many asked if there were better medical procedures and immediate responses that could have saved his life. Carlos Adames is a boxer from the Dominican Republic who dreams of making a name for himself in the world of boxing. He possesses speed, strength, and intense determination to prove himself in every fight. But instead of being known as a champion, he became part of the list of boxers who died while doing the sport they loved the most. On November 5, 2001, he faced Juan Soberanes in what would be the last fight of his life. Their fight was extremely intense. Neither of them backed down, and they kept exchanging powerful punches without stopping. As the fight went on, Adames started to get tired, but he still refused to give up. Then came a punch that changed everything. Soberanes unleashed a powerful punch that finally knocked Adames down to the canvas. He never got back up. Medical personnel immediately entered the ring and tried to save his life, but it was already too late. His injuries were too severe and he could not be saved. His passing served as another painful reminder of how quickly everything can change in the world of boxing. One moment you're fighting your opponent, and the next moment your life could be at stake. Jimmy Doyle. Jimmy Doyle was a young boxer full of dreams. He had the speed, agility, and determination to become a world champion someday. But on June 24, 1947, his fate changed forever when he faced one of the greatest boxers in history, Sugar Ray Robinson. Robinson was already a legend at that time, known for his incredibly fast footwork and powerful punches. Despite being the underdog, Doyle entered the ring with full confidence. He believed he could surprise everyone and defeat the famous champion. The fight was intense and both of them exchanged heavy punches. But in the 8th round, a powerful punch from Robinson knocked Doyle down to the canvas. He never regained consciousness. He was rushed to the hospital, but the next day he passed away due to severe brain injuries. The boxing community was shocked by what happened. Sugar Ray Robinson was also deeply affected. In the following years, he shared that before the fight, he had a dream that he would end Doyle's life inside the ring. Because of the fear from that dream, he even wanted to cancel the fight, but the promoters encouraged him to go through with it. He had no idea that his bad dream would almost come true in the most painful way. After the tragedy, Sugar Ray Robinson was deeply saddened. As help for Jimmy Doyle's family, he gave a large part of his earnings from the fight. This is proof of how heavily that event weighed on his conscience. Frankie Campbell was a tough and veteran heavyweight boxer, known for his courage inside the ring. On August 25, 1930, he faced Max Baer, a very powerful puncher who later became the world heavyweight champion. From the very start, the fight was intense. Both boxers were throwing heavy punches at each other. At one point, Campbell even knocked Baer down. But according to the referee, Baer just slipped, so it was not counted as a knockdown. This seemed to make Baer even more determined. He became more aggressive and relentlessly threw powerful punches. By the 5th round, a series of heavy punches landed on Campbell, forcing him against the ropes of the ring. Eventually, the fight was stopped, but it was too late. Campbell was already unconscious and he never woke up again. He was rushed to the hospital, but the doctors could no longer do anything to save him. In the autopsy that was conducted, a very rare and severe injury was discovered. His brain separated from its attachment inside the skull due to the tremendous force of the punches. This was the cause of his death. While Max Baer continued his successful career and became world champion, those who knew him said he was never the same again. He carried the weight of that tragedy for the rest of his life. The loss of Frankie Campbell also became one of the reasons why boxing rules were strengthened, including stricter medical supervision and quicker stoppage of fights when a boxer is in danger. Luther McCarty. Luther McCarty was one of the most promising young heavyweight boxers of his time. Tall, strong, and naturally talented, many believed he would be the next big star in boxing. But he never got to fulfill that dream. On May 24, 1913, he stepped into the ring in Calgary, Canada to face Arthur Pelkey. Almost immediately after the fight began, the unexpected happened. In the first round, McCarty suddenly collapsed. At first, everyone thought it was just an ordinary knockdown, but when he didn't move anymore, the entire arena fell silent. Doctors immediately rushed to him, but there was nothing they could do. He passed away right there in the boxing ring. In the subsequent investigation, it was revealed that he suffered a severe neck injury. It is believed that this may have been caused by the combined effects of the punches and a previously undetected medical condition. At the age of 21, he was expected to become one of the best heavyweight champions of his time. But instead of achieving fame and titles, his life ended in a tragic way. Ed Sanders. Ed Sanders was an exceptional American boxer who was born in 1930. Because of his strength, skill, and discipline, he quickly became known as one of the best heavyweight boxers of his generation. His greatest achievement came at the 1952 Olympic Games, where he won the gold medal in the heavyweight division for the United States. After his historic victory at the Olympics, he turned professional and was determined to make a name for himself in the heavyweight division. He possessed the strength, speed, and attitude of a true champion. Many believed that he would go far and become one of the next biggest stars in the world of professional boxing. On December 12, 1954, Ed Sanders stepped into the ring to face Willie James. He didn't know that it would be the last fight of his life. It was an intense battle and both boxers exchanged heavy punches. But when the 11th round came, Sanders was hit by a series of powerful punches until he finally collapsed on the canvas, unconscious. The entire arena fell silent as medical personnel quickly rushed in to help him. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, but his injuries were too severe. He passed away due to severe head trauma at the age of 25. His passing greatly shocked the entire boxing community. From being an Olympic gold medalist, he became a sad reminder of the dangers associated with professional boxing in just 2 years. Because of what happened to him, the serious dangers in the heavyweight division were once again brought up, where the punches are stronger and the possibility of serious injury is greater. Although his professional career was short, Ed Sanders remains one of the few Olympic gold medalists who passed away after fighting inside the boxing ring. Angelo Jacopucci was a skilled and resilient boxer from Italy. He was born in 1946 and gradually climbed the ranks until he became known as one of the best middleweight contenders in his country. He was known for the power of his punches and his ability to take heavy blows while still continuing to fight. On July 19, 1978, he faced the young English boxer Alan Minter. The fight was extremely fierce. They exchanged heavy punches in every round, and even though Jacopucci was taking a lot of hits, he refused to give up and kept on fighting. But as the final rounds approached, Minter's strength began to dominate. The fight ended with Jacopucci still standing, although it was clear that he had suffered severe injuries. Just moments after he returned to his dressing room, he suddenly collapsed. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, but doctors discovered that he had suffered a severe brain injury. Despite all their efforts, he passed away the following day. His passing once again served as a warning to the entire boxing world that even a boxer who finishes a fight standing can still experience fatal complications after the match. There was deep mourning in Italy, where he was considered one of the country's most promising talents. Brad Rohn. Boxing is a sport that requires courage, skill, and intense determination. Every boxer who steps into the ring knows the dangers they may face. Brad Rohn was one of those people who were willing to accept that risk. He was born in 1968. Although he never became a world champion and had more losses than wins, he became known as a boxer who never gave up. Despite many setbacks, he continued to put on his gloves and fight whenever the opportunity came his way. On July 18, 2003, he once again stepped into the ring in Utah for yet another fight. As the fight went on, he kept taking punches as usual, but suddenly he collapsed in the middle of the match. The referee and medical team immediately rushed to him. But despite their quick response, there was nothing more they could do. He suffered cardiac arrest right inside the ring and eventually lost his life. His story became even more tragic when it was revealed that the reason he fought that night was to earn money for his mother, who was seriously ill. He didn't fight for fame or a title. He fought because he loved his family. Although he did not become a world champion, his story remained in the world of boxing as a symbol of hard work, resilience, and love for family. He was a warrior who never gave up, no matter how hard the fight was, whether inside or outside the ring.